Hello again, everyone. Welcome to my channel. We Can Do This. I'm your hostess, Julie Bowd. I'm feeling kind of mellow today. It's Easter weekend. I wish everybody out there a happy and safe Easter. I've seen a lot of eggs. I've actually seen some chocolate bunnies around. I'm a fan. I love a good chocolate bunny. This is a very nice holiday for the kids, and I hope everybody has a great time this weekend. And if you had Friday off, lucky you. I hope you enjoyed your day off. I was not so fortunate, and I know there were others who weren't as well, but still a great weekend, right? Always a good weekend for Easter. And if you are returning to my channel, if you are a regular viewer, I welcome you back and I thank you for your support. And I also want to say welcome to anybody who is new on my channel. And I would like to remind you that if you could please subscribe, I love to see new subscribers, and hit that like button down below. When you hit that like button and you subscribe, you will get a notice of when my live streams are on board. And you can also get into my channel at any time, and you can look at the past sessions that we've done, further discussions we've had, and you can view them. And if you view them, subscribe and like there as well. I appreciate anybody and everyone who joins my channel, who supports my channel. You are all very important to me, and I really do appreciate it, more than you know. So with that being said, I'd like to start talking today and discussing about something that I am currently going through. And I'm going to go out on a limb here and I'm going to say, I bet a lot of you are too, if not all of you, or you have at some point in your life. And what we're going to talk about today is being mentally and emotionally drained. And you need a very major break. And I can tell you, this is something I'm experiencing now. I have noticed it and identified. Once I did this research, I realized that I was reading about me. And I see it around me too, that a lot of other people are feeling the same way I am. So I picked this topic because not only because I'm going through it, but I think a lot of people out there are too. And it's important to me to communicate some things to help you notice what you're going through maybe. And hopefully you can identify it and figure out a way to change things, to move on, and to make things better. I know that's what my goal is. And that's what I'm doing here. We're in this together, right? And we can do this. So, in our lives, and I have to tell you, I totally, completely respect any of you who are parents out there. You have my utmost respect on about every different level. I personally have never had children, but those of you who have, I don't know how you do it. And you have my respect, and I'm dumbfounded by what you achieve every day of your lives. And you make me tired just watching you. And I have to tell you, we think we're Superman, and I think I am a lot of times. I push myself to be on my limit. And I know we all do too, because life's tough. I mean, it's everything we can do to get through a day at a time. Things are really rough right now. And we push ourselves and push ourselves because, we can do it and we can do this and we can do that and we can do it all. And then without realizing it, we hit a wall. And I have. And I have identified that. So now that I've identified it, I need to do something to move on and make things better. But it's going to be tough. But I'm going to talk about some of the things that I realized after doing my research that I identified it in me. So I want to help you identify it in you so you can take action and help yourself and maybe help somebody else too. So the first thing I can tell you is one of the things that I've noticed about myself, and this is one of the signs that you're feeling just emotionally and mentally drained, is the fact that you are just irritated all the time. You're agitated. And it doesn't matter how small something is, it doesn't matter how big it is. Everything just gets on your nerves. You're just short tempered. And, sometimes there may not even be a really good reason for it. But all of a sudden, you just all of a sudden go off and you just want to rip somebody's face off. And you identify that and you just don't have any patience, and anything little will set you off and would, take you to the next level in your anger. And I have to tell you, I have actually been trying to work on this personally myself, but I have to tell you at this point, I'm losing the battle. And it's going to be a challenge for me to really pick myself up and move through this and get beyond this. Because I have to tell you, I really don't have a lot of patience right now. I am very short. I go to anger very quickly and I catch myself. I do catch myself, but it's not really working great for me. So that's one of the things I got to work on. But maybe you're seeing the same thing too. If you're short to temper, maybe it's not your coworker, maybe it's not your friend, maybe it's not whoever. It might be just the fact that you're just tired. You're just drained. And another thing leading into this is I feel constantly exhausted. When you are mentally and emotionally exhausted, it just drains you. It feels like someone took a straw, stuck it in your ear and just sucked away. And the energy and the life that you had before, it's just gone. You don't even have it anymore. And it doesn't matter how much you sleep. It doesn't matter how you sleep. It doesn't matter what you do, how long you relax, how much me time you have. You are completely exhausted and drained every minute of your life. I'm feeling it. I am tired every minute of every day. And it's really miserable. And even though I have a family, but I don't have children, I have to tell you, I am going every second of my life. And I'm really, really tired beyond just needing a good night's sleep. So if your exhaustion is to the extreme, that may be another sign that it's more of a mental and emotional drain. And now this next one I'm going to talk about, I haven't experienced it to this length. I have somewhat, but not to the extent that it's been extreme yet, but I don't want to get there either. And the thing that I've done is cry. And I have cried, just because I'm so drained. Sometimes you just get so angry that it comes out differently. Do you know what I mean? But there are times where maybe you're feeling like you want to cry 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and there's not even really any reason for it. You can't identify a reason, but you always are sad. You always just feel like you just want to sob completely and totally. And I have to tell you, that is a sign you're just burned out. I'm burned out. I'm not doing that 24/7, but I am doing it. And I've identified that. And I need to recognize that that's something that I need to address. And I will, and I am. And I'm going to put up some live chats right now so that we can take a look at them and share them together. I have two of my biggest fans and my supporters who are on today. I appreciate them very much. They have been with me since day one, and I would love for you to join our discussions and be part of this as well, so that we can help each other and you can realize that you aren't alone. So I'm going to start out with Dan. Dan is very close to my heart. He and I went to high school together, and he was also a guest on my channel at one point. We talked about pet therapy. We are both cat lovers. Dan, all the kitties are doing good here. They're doing great. They're missing you, though, and so am I. And Dan says your self-awareness and personal insight is commendable. Julie, you bait and share your soul so freely and comfortably. I truly appreciate this beyond words. Well, I thank you, Dan, very much. And I have always been someone, I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I'm very animated. I'm sure anybody who has watched, my channels, especially since day one, I'm very animated. You can read me like a book. There's no poker face here. And it's never going to happen for me. That's just not who I am. So for me to share is pretty easy for me to do because that's just natural to me. So, here I am. You take me how I am. If you don't like it, that's fine. We're always going to have someone who's not going to like us or even hate us. That's just life, right? I have a hard time dealing with it, but I know that's the truth. But I'm always going to say who I am. I have nothing I'm ashamed of. I have nothing that I can't share with you. And that's what I'm going to continue to do. But I appreciate it very much that you say that, Dan. That's very kind. And I truly appreciate that. And you also say you bear and share. You know it. You know it. Absolutely. And that's what we need to do. We need to talk about our feelings. We need to talk about what we're going through. And when you share it with somebody else and you can help them, how is that not great? How is that not amazing? And that's why I'm here. So Jason, hi Jason, how are you doing? Jason is another one of my followers. Thank you. And Jason and I actually graduated college together. Jason and I, we went to Grove City College together. I won't tell you the year. I won't tell the year, Jason. So don't worry about that. But we graduated college together, and after all the graduations and everything, it's been so many years, and I'm so happy we've all hooked up again. It's been a really great couple of months, and it's been a great thing. So Jason says, it's a good thing that you recognize where you are and that you are working toward a resolve. Absolutely. Absolutely, Jason. We all need to do that. And we all should do that. And I'm not saying, I know there's people out there that feel this way. And a lot of times it's guys. But as a guy who are saying this, I appreciate that. And here's why. Guys have a tendency to put this wall up. They don't want to admit they have an issue. They don't want to admit they have a feeling. They don't want to admit that something's wrong. They don't want to talk about it. They have a tendency to bottle it up and they don't let it out. And unfortunately, what that does, it makes it worse. It's not going to resolve anything. And they don't change anything. They don't want to even recognize that there's something going on. So when you recognize it, you admit it, there's a process there that you need to go through. Until you do that, and until you address it and try to make a change and try to do something to make things better, it's not going to. You have to be willing to take that step, as scary as it might be. You gotta do it. And he says, we are very alike, animated and wearing our hearts on our sleeves. This isn't a bad thing. Jason, I couldn't agree with you more, but, and I'm going to bet that you've seen it too. There are people in our lives who haven't agreed with us, have they? For many years, I was told because I do that, it's a bad thing and it's a negative thing and that's my downfall. Well, you know what? I ain't buying it. If me caring and me being who I am is not your cup of tea, that's fine. But I'm not going to change who I am. I am who I am, and you are who you are. You don't need to change for somebody else. You need to live with you. That's what matters. That's what's going to make you a happy person, to be who you are. So, and here's Mark, my guy. You're doing great things, and your followers have awesome input. It's great. Keep it up. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I love the support. And the more support I get, the harder I'm going to fight to keep making these live streams, to keep coming to you with all kinds of support and all kinds of information to help you. And that is what my drive is. And that's what I'm going to keep doing. And so you're stuck with me. What can I say? So the next thing that we're going to talk about as a sign is you find it hard to get excited about anything. Nothing excites you. And you just feel like you're numb, or you're a zombie. You're like a robot. You're just kind of going through the motions just to get through the day. And I'm not saying you don't feel anything. I'm saying nothing excites you. Like if you're told some great news or you're told something amazing, it does nothing for you. You don't get it and you just don't go there. Someone will tell you something wonderful and you'll just go, it's great. Awesome. And you kind of do this kind of thing and you're just kind of blah, that kind of thing. And it's not normal. You need to recognize that that's not normal. We all have things that we enjoy in life, whether it's the people, hobbies, pets. We all have something in our life that excites us and moves us. What moves you? If what normally moves you isn't moving you, doesn't excite you, doesn't get that spark that you want to have and that you need to have, then you got to try something to change that because it's not right. You deserve to have those moments. We all need those moments to keep going and smiling and realizing that we deserve to be happy. We deserve to support each other and be excited for each other when the good things happen. You need to take care of that. And along with not getting excited, another thing is you're just finding it really tough, almost impossible to get motivated about pretty much anything. And I'm there, and I'm fully admitting it. I have zero motivation right now. And it's not that I used to have tons, but I had a passion in here. I had a very strong passion. When it was something I believed in or something I wanted or something I wanted to achieve, I was really a go-getter. And I sacrificed everything to make things happen. And I am doing that right now in my life. There's something that's part of the changes that I'm trying to make that I am trying to do really, really hard. And I am fighting this motivation that has, for some reason, left me. And I believe it's because of this exhaustion and just lack of just mental and emotional, I'm drained. And it's really hard to get motivated. But I'm finding that in those moments still where I need to be, I am. But I'm pushing myself a lot harder. And I know that's not me. So I have identified that. And if you know it's not you, then you need to take a serious look at that. And part of that about not getting motivated, and this one, I don't want anyone to take this the wrong way because I don't mean it personally to anybody, but it's because of what I'm going through and how I feel right now is the reason I'm saying it. It's not because of anybody in particular or anything. Because I adore all the people in my life and I adore the people who support me here. And I noticed, and I can tell you exactly when this happened for me. I can tell you when the pandemic started, I always went into the office every day my whole life. I was definitely the computer person. I've been behind a desk the majority of my life, with the exception of where I worked during college to get money for my books and my expenses. But right now, at the beginning of the pandemic, I realized when I spent the time at home, I really just wanted to avoid people. And I just wanted to be home alone. I really was burnt out from being around people. And it really hit me hard during that time. And I'm finding that now that that's all past us, and I'm back in the office now every day, I'm finding that that part of me is still in me. And I'm fighting against it. Going into the office every day is really hard for me. I love to have that break away from people, away from the difficulties out there, away from the gossip, away from the nastiness, away from the meanness, away from all of it. That's a break for me. And now that that break is gone, I really, really strongly feel like I don't want to be around anybody. And like I said, please, if you're a friend or your family or you're watching us, please don't take it that way. It's just because I'm so drained and so tired. It's not that I don't love you and I don't care about you. It's just the fact that I just want to hibernate. I really just want peace. I want quiet, and I want some me time. We should all have me time. If you're not having me time, that's a little bit of the problem. I have very little me time, and that's what's partially taken its toll on me. I need time for me. I just want to hide. I don't want to be social. I don't want to have game. Yeah, that's the way I'll call it. I don't want to have game. I don't want to be on all the time, because being on is just going to drain me more. And sometimes something's got to give. And it goes back to where I read where people just want more sleep versus spending time with others. It's not that they don't love you or care about you or want to hang. They just don't have the strength to do it. And that's me. That's me. Maybe it's you. And okay, let's share a thing here from Dan. Very true. Men are psychosocially conditioned to put emotions in the back burner. Totally and completely. As being an EMT, being a buyer, having a lot of male around me when I was in the fire department, all of it. Absolutely. They totally shut down. They're taught not to be emotional. And that is so wrong. Men need to do it as much as women do, because once you identify it and you let it out, that's when you start to heal, and that's when you start to feel better. And even here's Jason, you hit the nail on the head. We shouldn't change who we are at our core to try to please others. It is vital to know your strengths and not to allow others to try to turn them into negatives. Absolutely. We are not here to live for other people, and to meet their demands or meet their expectations. You are who you are. That's the simple fact. I am who I am. I'm not going to change for somebody else, because if I do that, then I'm going to be miserable. I need to be me. You need to be you. Exactly. And again, yes, it is vitally important to tap into our self-worth. People confuse self-worth with confidence and with selfishness and narcissism. They are polar opposites. Exactly the truth. Mark, you guys are great for all input. And Dan goes, yes, absolutely. And Jason, there you go. Jason, I'm totally with you on this. Jason, me time can be after this broadcast. You know it. Jason, you and I clean on Saturdays. I was a good girl today. Did my cleaning. I got it all done. Did my prep for this. You better know I'm going to have some me time tonight and tomorrow as well. It's a holiday. I'm going to kick back and relax. Hope you do too. Absolutely. Part of our wellness plan needs to include me time. Doing something you enjoy by yourself, with yourself, and for yourself on a regular basis. Couldn't have said it better. We all need it. Absolutely. And if you don't get it, that's just adding to what's going on. And what it's going to eventually come to, and that's going to be the next thing I'm going to mention here, a lot of anxiety. In fact, it's going to be anxiety overload, no matter where you are, no matter what you do. And I will admit here, I had a very major panic attack a couple weeks ago, and I haven't had one in years. So tell me that isn't a red flag. I admit that. I know it's a red flag. And that's why I've gone the next step to try to make changes so that that doesn't happen again. That's not fun. It's not fun for me. It's not fun for anybody. If I'm to that extent, to where that's happening and my body's telling me, what are you doing? I need to listen. And we're going to talk about that here in a minute. And everything you do, no matter what you do, no matter how big it is, no matter how small it is, you feel overwhelmed by everything. And that's me right now. Everything in life, you can't deal with the simplest of little things. And I'm struggling. Believe me, I am. And I know everybody there who's listening to this has felt the same thing. You just are overwhelmed, no matter how small it is, because you're so exhausted. You're so drained. Everything is a major task, and you fight to keep going. And you get to the point that you just feel detached and you're numb from everybody around you and everything around you. You feel like no one understands you, and you feel really, really alone. Now, I will say this. When I get to the point where I feel like I'm alone, which I do, we all do at some points in our life, I can honestly say when I've felt alone, which has been many times, I can say that between my family, my friends, they have picked me up in the most unexpected ways with their kindness, their love, their caring natures, their support. And frankly, they amaze me. I am tough. When you're an EMT, when you're a buyer, you're the bad guy all the time. You got to be tough. So I am tough, but only to a certain extent, because we all have our buttons that get pushed, and we all have that place where we go over the edge. And you just feel like you're just alone, and every time I felt that way, I can honestly say that whether it's been my faith, whether it's been my friends or my family, they have somehow always seemed to know and come out of the woodwork and pick me up. And it gives me the strength to fight again and to keep going. And here I am. That's what I'm saying. You can do it too. And a lot of times you don't feel like yourself. And right now, that I don't feel like myself right now. And I know I'm not myself. I've identified that, and I've accepted that for now. So you just don't feel like you, and you know who you are. You've been with yourself your whole life, right? And you're just not sure how to fix it and move on. Now, I'm trying to do that right now. But if the change that I'm trying to do doesn't work, and I know it's a process, so I got to be patient. Another challenge right now, yay. But I have to say, I'm willing to try. You have to keep trying. You can't give up, because things aren't easy. I'm not saying they are, but it doesn't mean you quit fighting. And I'm a fighter, so I'm not giving up. And I'm going to do this. But it ain't easy. It's going to be tough. But I got to do it. I got to do it for me. You can do this. And one of the final things that I want to talk about is what your mind does to your body. And I have to tell you, I've experienced this. I don't know if you have, but I have. And I do understand this. When you are mentally and emotionally drained and you're exhausted, and you've identified that, but you haven't done anything, and you just kind of go on, you're that robot, you're just kind of going on day to day, and it keeps beating on you, and it keeps just coming at you. Your mind and your body do some communication. And what eventually happens is you almost feel like you're physically ill, even if you're not. Like right now, I can tell you that the heel on my back of my right foot, it all of a sudden the other day started hurting me. I work at a desk job. I have not picked up anything heavy. I have not done anything, but all of a sudden it started hurting. And the other day I started to feel a little bit of a pain in my back. And I'm like, what is going on? I haven't done anything. I haven't done anything physical. But I know where it's coming from. Stress, anxiety, the drain feeling, Emotions can take a toll on you physically, and it can affect you in very unexpected ways. And maybe you'll run to your doctor, and say, "What is wrong with me? What is going on?" And they will do test after test after test, and they won't find anything. There'll be nothing wrong with you. Your blood work's great, this, that, and the other thing. I've always said for many, many years, I have felt this since my time in college when I worked at a physical job. It is so much easier to heal from being physically tired versus mental, emotional exhaustion. Mental physical exhaustion is really tough to recover from. It can be done. It's a process like everything else. I always found that in the work environment, physically, I was able to recover much easier from the soreness because as I kept doing it, my muscles got stronger, my legs got stronger, and eventually I adapted. Even though I was tired, I could recover quickly. Not so easy with mental and emotional exhaustion. It's very wearing on you physically as well as mentally. You've got to recognize it, and you've got to deal with it and face it. So with that being said, I'm going to end today with once again reminding you to please hit that subscribe button. I love all of my subscribers. They are very important to me. I recognize that and truly appreciate everybody who supports me. And I'm going to do a few more live chats here before I give you my final teaser. Hit that like button. Jason, that's my guy. After getting home from grocery shopping, I did clean. Jason, that's us, right? That's what we do. And try to engage in anything that gives you pleasure, no matter how small you think it is. We all must learn to relax. It's hard, but in the title of your channel, we can and we will. You got it. Absolutely. I couldn't be happier to hear someone say that because you get it. You get it. And that's what we're here for. This is a great book. The Body Keeps the Score. I'm not familiar with it, but there it is out there. If someone would like to check it out, let me know. Make some comments down below. You're always welcome to make some comments down below. Give me some feedback. Let me know if you've read this book or if you're familiar with it. Give me some comments, and I'd be very interested in hearing about that. And Dan, you are amazing. Thank you so much. I'm not amazing. I'm just doing what's in my heart, and I'm doing what I hope will help somebody. I'm finding I'm at a point in my life right now where I'm going to have to make some changes. And part of it is how I help people and how I care about people and how I support people. And that's okay, because as long as I can continue to do it in some form of some type, it's still great. And I'm totally okay with that. So, those all being said, now comes the teaser, which I have been dying to tell you the whole episode. The title of next week's topic is going to be, it's a secret. So if you want to know what the secret is, you're going to have to tune in next week and find out what it is. And with that being said, I hope you do tune in. I hope you come back. Please, if you want to look at the replays of any of my topics that I've discussed, please feel free to go on my channel. You can view any of them. I have kept them. And with that being said, thank you so much to everybody who's joined me today live, everybody who watches a replay. As we always say on my channel, we can do this. We got this. I can, and I will. And I know you will too. And with that being said, have a wonderful, safe, and happy Easter. And to all of you, thank you so much, and take care.